I don't know. I'm just going to start and work away on this wreath. It's a door wreath. So this is just made out of twigs, and they're bound tightly, and then just cut off with a sectioner for the shape. I'm going to fly through these as soon as I can. I'm really got to use my spare bit of just using dry Strelitzia leaves, which have been put in the hot press for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Vinny works very fast and he prefers to just work at the pace he works at in the workroom, so I'm going to do the talking for him because I don't think I think we'd be here all night if he was to stop and start and stop and start. So he's making quite a traditional door wreath. We're going to hang it on this red door here out of a twig base which he sprayed with a white spray paint first, and then he sprayed it with a silver spray paint. The Strelitzia leaves that you see here that are twined around the wreath, they were just put in the hot press for about 6 weeks and they were let dry naturally. So they're all different shapes and he's just working the different shapes into the wreath ring. He actually made one fairly similar to this for me 7 years ago. And it's still going out on my door every single year. So whoever wins this tonight is going to have something that's going to last year on, year on. Well, mine is still there, really. Well, you won't tell anybody about it, that it lasts for 7 years. So. And it's really just a series of winding and bending the twigs around, and he's securing them with pins or tying them. But it actually makes a very dramatic door wreath, I think, out of something that was a very basic base to start off with. And most people, if they're putting a door wreath on the door for Christmas, they'd expect to just put a plain circular wreath on, but I know when I got the one on my door, I loved the extensions on it, and I think it really dressed the door rather than just dressing half the door. And again, depending on what colour door you have, pick something that's going to stand out and that's going to look good from the road, and hope that nobody steals it on you. You used to be able to buy a lot of these pre-made frames, but they were very hard to sell because nobody knew what to do with them. So we used to do quite a lot of them, but they're not as easy to get, the bases now. probably a bit unusual as well to have an all white door wreath. I have a fair bit of red now in the one on my door. So you can see it's just a series of twisting, wiring and securing, but it will make a very dramatic door wreath when we see it on the red door here. And it's nearly done. So the very long trails on it is going to dress the whole door. You could use just an ordinary moss wreath or any sort of a pre-made, any pre-made wreath, or even buy a simple wreath and just put the extra bits of twigs on it and put the extra bits. I mean, we would always have basic ones in the shop, the regular ones that people would buy. But I mean, if you even had just a basic wreath, you could add a bit of natural willow or spray the willow white or spray it whatever colour is going to complement or contrast with the colour on your door. And you can make something very dramatic out of what you would buy as a fairly basic wreath with a bit of dressing by just adding the twigs and adding a few trails and a couple of bows. And if you had a few strelitzia leaves, you could dry those in your hot press as well.